Okay, so we're going to be writing these equations because when you take your test, when you take the STAR test, most of it is going to be matching the word problem to an equation. It's not always going to be solving it, it's going to be more matching it. So we're going to work on breaking these word problems down because everybody struggles with them. But if we break them down into tiny little pieces, then it's not so bad. Okay? So look at number 1. We've got 5. Number 5. More. So there's going to be addition. Then, that word then is going to be important in a second. Then 8 times a number. So we don't know what number, so that means that's going to be our variable. Times some mysterious number is equal to the sum. So what does that tell you? Sum.
After add. The total.
That we'd be adding them, right. The sum of 6 times a number, again, I don't know what number, and 1. So anytime you see that word than that I circled in green, 5 more than 8 times a number, that word than tells you that this is going to be flipped. So that order is flipped around. So instead of 5 plus 8x, we would write 8x plus 5 because it's 5 more than that. Then on the other side, it's equal to the sum, so that's going to be addition, of 6 times a number, so it should look like 6x plus 1. And that's it.
That was easy.
That's all I'm going to focus on today, just making sure you guys know how to write the equations. We'll worry about solving these all tomorrow. So right now we're just breaking them down.
Yay.
Okay, so then number 2, same thing. You're just kind of like dissecting these word problems. 8 more than, so there's that than, more than 4 times a number, then a number is equal to 7 less, so that's going to be subtracting, than 9 times a number. So that's my variable. So all that word than means is that we're flip-flopping.
That's really easy now.
So instead of 8 plus 4x, it would be 4x plus 8, because it's saying 8 more than that, whatever that is, equals 7 less than 9 times a number. So 9 times a number minus 7. So on number 3, Pedro opened his account with $710 and withdrew. So that means we're going to be subtracting. He's losing that money. He withdrew $35 per week. Then we got Maria. Maria opened her account with $570 and withdrew, so she's subtracting $25 weekly. In how many weeks will their accounts be equal? So remember we looked at word problems a couple weeks ago, and I said that the question is always going to tell you what your variable is. So if it says how many weeks, then your variable is representing weeks.
X5, 7.
So if we're comparing Pedro and Maria, looking at Pedro's situation, he had $710, he withdraws $35 per week. So which of those two numbers should have the variable attached to it?
35 and 20.
Good. So for Pedro, it should be 35 because per week, weeks I already said was what our variable should be. So if he starts with 710 and he's got to pay, or he withdraws $35 every week. Same type of situation for Maria. She started though with 570 and she withdraws $25 a week. Then on number 4, your sister can get $30 per day for selling clothes at the market, but she has to pay, so she's going to be losing $60 at first for renting the stand. You can get $20 per day for helping your neighbor rake lawns. After how many days, so that tells me that's my variable, days. After how many days will your sister earn as much as you? So you want to be equal with your sister. So I've got sister and I've got a you. So how can I write my sister's situation? She's getting $30 a day, but then she's got to pay $60. Which of those two numbers should have the variable on it?
30 and 20.
Good. So for the sister, should be 30. So she's going to get $30 a day, but she's got to pay for that stand that she's renting, that she's selling out of.
30x.
And then you get 20x. You get $20 a day. That's it. So it's wanting you to find what x would be if the perimeters of the two are the same. So first, I need to know what perimeter means. What does perimeter mean?
The outside.
The outside, and what do we do with those outsides?
Add them.
We're going to add them all up. So add all the sides. So for the first rectangle, one of my sides is x plus 4. The other one is x minus 2. So that means I know the other two missing sides because it's a rectangle, so the other two should be the same. So if you wanted to find the perimeter of that rectangle, you could technically do this. You could say x plus 4 plus x plus 4 plus x minus 2 plus x minus 2. Holy cow.
I could just do 8x plus 4x.
But we'll have to, yeah, pretty much. So you'll have to combine your like terms. So if I combine all of my x's from this rectangle, how many is that?
4.
So that gives me 4x. And then I can go and combine all my numbers. So I've got 4 plus 4 minus 2 minus 2. Or 8 minus 4, pretty much. 4. So the perimeter, basically adding all 4 of these sides up, would look like that. Then I can do this same thing on this triangle. X plus 3 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 4.
Why do I keep doing this?
Good. All my variables together, 3x. I got 3 of them, so 3x. Then all your numbers together. 3 plus 5 plus 4, 12. Good.
How? Plus 4.
So plus 4. Since it's an equation, I've got this scale. They're balanced or at the same level. On the other side, I have one triangle with a negative y in it.
Negative 1y.
So negative 1y or just negative y. And then I've got 6 with negative 1s in them.
Plus negative 6.
You could do plus negative 6 or just minus 6. That would be the same thing though. And then if you're given something like this, you have a multiple choice, you can always go and plug your answer choices in for y and see which one works. Okay, on number 2, all we're going to do, I'm just going to go through those 4 answer choices and we're going to write the equations down just so you understand how to read those models. Okay, so for F, I've got 4 x's and 5 little squares with negative signs in them. So how should that look, do you think? I got 4x, then minus 5, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares with little negative signs in them. So that means those are negative. So you could say plus negative 5 or just minus 5. Okay, then what about the other side? 3x minus 1. So then G, what should G look like in an equation?
2x plus 25.
Good. 2x plus 25 equals
6x plus 9.
plus. All right, good. Then H. I got 2x
Plus 9.
plus 9 equals
1x plus 5.
1x plus 5. Or you could just put X if you wanted to, but that's the same thing. Then your very last one.
X plus 9.
Plus 5, good. That's the hardest part, is just figuring out how to read those. So if you guys can read those, you're good. And then if I did the other side, I would have 3 times 4 minus 1. So that'd be 12 minus 1. So on F, those are the same. They both equal 11. That's good, but I'm looking for one that's not a solution. So it wouldn't be F. And then you can do the same thing on G, H, and J. Go through, plug in 4 for each one. Like on the second one, I've got 2x plus 25. So instead of x, I'm going to plug in 4. So that would be 8 plus 25. And then the same thing on the other side to see if they're equal. 6, plug in 4 for x. 4. Okay, so number 4, customers have 2 options when renting video games from a rental store. Plan A requires a $5 monthly fee and $1 per video rental. Then Plan B requires an $8 monthly fee and 75 cents per video rental. How many video rentals? So the video rentals is my variable. How many would be required each month for the cost to be the same? So I got Plan A and Plan B. If video rentals is my variable, that's what I don't know. For Plan A, is that variable going to be attached to your $5 or the $1? It's the video rental. So which of those numbers is talking about the video rentals? For the $5 and the $1, which of those amounts is talking about your video rentals? The $1. So that means that's what my variable has to be attached to. Anytime you see the word fee, that's usually does not have a variable on it. That's just, we got to pay that no matter what. So I got to pay that $5 fee plus $1 for every video we rent. So same thing for Plan B. It's just an $8 fee plus 75 for each video rental.